whatever. So I'm just going to basically leave this here so that you guys can see what's up. But Martin and I still can't figure out how to figure out who's contributed to Storytime and, all this other stuff. I know we weren't part of the Happs testing group. I didn't really even completely realize this was going on. And this has become a very difficult thing for us. But where's those of you who pitched in for the story time? So with the frustrations we've been having and trying to get out to you guys enough, and Martin doing his program, like I said, he may or may not be able to even be with me tonight. He did his little broadcast the other day because we didn't expect to be in communication at all for about 4 days. But he kind of called today, and I talked with him about, the program he's on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a good chance he's going to be able to spend about 3 hours a day, and that's it, doing things for the company. So, that's a big thing. Twitter failed. Why does it just keep repeating connection? Is anybody out there? Can anybody see this? Can anybody hear this? Can anybody? Oh, this is too much, folks. I'm sorry. It's just too much stress for everything we're going through. So, if Martin can join me on my Twitch test, I think I'm going to probably try to go on around 6:30. I'm just kind of going to rush down to the store and get some basics for tomorrow for myself. It's weird shopping for myself. We've been a couple for so long. But yeah. So Martin may or may not be over on Twitch with me tonight. Don't know. I'm not expecting anything from him at this time. So we'll see. But yeah. I don't know what to say, guys. The amount of time it's taken for us to recover our lives is just pretty, excessive. And we were really getting somewhere with the stories. Now, this doesn't mean that, we're going, hey, Happs, screw you, middle finger, blah, 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 gone. This means that we're not going to put emphasis on certain things here. So we're trying to decide whether or not it's Twitch or TikTok that's going to wind up being our location for story time. I had an account with StreamYard years ago, and I used OBS on Periscope, so those are always possibilities. But the story times, we can't do it. It looks like we're not going to be able to do the Doctor Who story time. We're going to do something for the Doctor Who Day because we have to, considering who we are. But we don't know what right now because I can't figure out which one of you have contributed your money for story time. So I'm going to slap on the war paint. And before anyone gets culturally upset, as far as I can tell, I do have a little native in me. So yeah. Wow, see, I look tired even with the makeup. Horrible. It's horrible. If anyone's around right now, if you want to ask me any questions about this, it's fine. I know at one point on Twitch I turned off the whole comment thing because as great as it is at Happs, trickles down to the other apps. There was no way to really control things. So I love change, but suddenly like this, it affects people's money. Yeah. I mean, story time was starting to go good. For those of you I talked over on here, and you've barely been around, I'm hoping you're seeing me on Facebook or on other apps that this is trickling down to. And, if you're really enjoying Happs, then that's great. The voice. Hi. Tell us why it's not working for you. What's the big problem? Hello. Hey, it's working. Kind of. Jazzy, were you having troubles? Well, the biggest thing with the whole Happs thing, the biggest thing for us is the fact that we're doing story times every month, and it's X number of dollars subscriptions. Sorry, sponsors. Now it's subscriptions, and X number of dollars of awards get you in story time. And we were really getting there. It was getting really, really good, and we were having a fun time with it. And it was great. And now the Doctor Who story time's coming up, and we had a cutoff date as the 15th, and I can't find where our subscribers are. I can't find if the sponsorship money is now part of somewhere else. I cannot, we need to write the story, the Doctor Who story, and I have no way to know who's contributed the money this month to be part of it. So people are putting finances in via our Happs for a particular thing, and we have no way to fulfill that obligation. We also rely heavily on the picture in picture. That's not around. Um, there's a oh my god, there's a whole bunch of issues right now, and it's too much. Martin's got a lot of mental health stuff he's finally getting to deal with, and that takes time away. And we have a company to try to make survive this pandemic, and it's way too many changes, way too many things that we use regularly, and I get the reasonings behind it. Um, but yeah, I'm not the type of person to get a hold of someone who put money into my life to get a particular thing, and now I can't even see. So yeah, that's the biggie right there, the money. And then thank you, Ed. Now the picture's larger. Can't find nothing. Yeah. Um, I mean, I've been watching Ed there. I've been watching a lot of people on here, and it's still working for them. Um, Jazzy, it's not a matter of whether or not I like. I've never been. I think this is why most people in my age bracket who I know have been around, in this industry a long time and has watched technology change and grow. A lot of them are no longer around. I can't find them anymore. Um, when I do find them and try to discuss it with them, the standard response is they just can't keep up this new technology. And I'm not really good at this grouchy old person. I keep trying to be a grouchy older person, but um, those of you who actually know me know it's impossible. And that hormonal stage was fixed by surgery, so I don't even have that as an excuse anymore. And yeah, it was an excuse, but hormones, right? Um, but yeah, so I tend not to like or not like when I was a camera person for City Pulse many moons ago. I carried around a big, huge camera and a VHS machine on my hip and batteries and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, the CBC guys were getting the new beta. But it's just like, we didn't care. We got our paycheck, and most of the CBC guys got laid off. Great, they spent money on new cameras. But so I really don't care what an app has to do. It's not a matter of like or not like. What I care about is we had a good thing going, and now it's interfered with. And I don't like mistreating people's money. I don't. You guys gave the appropriate funds for us to do this story time, and now I can't even see who you are. How do I give the people this? How do I include you? How do I write this? So it becomes an immense pressure where I have to spend a lot of time online trying to figure out which one of you gave that money. That's the biggest thing. Like, I mean, they could change the layout all they want, but that money. I don't like disrespecting people's money because I don't like disrespecting my own. So I'm looking at apps where I can trace. I mean, even if I have to start from scratch and trace from For example, if we decide to go with TikTok for story time, again, it doesn't mean we're never going to be here. It just means we can't, for our primary thing, we can't be here. So, like, I mean, if I use TikTok for story time, it becomes a TikTok story time. And the only way we can think after our experiment a few nights ago, the only way I can think of doing it is we have like one marathon broadcast, like a Sunday afternoon, and anyone who gives amounts, any amount, because it's next to impossible to track exactly how many dollars until the broadcast is over. But in that case, any amount during that cast, whatever it is, um, gets written in the story time, and then we broadcast story time. But the problem with TikTok is there's no real replay on the lives, so we'd have to. You can download the videos. We had to download it and put it on YouTube, which I barely use my YouTube. I haven't really touched it except for this streaming down to it in a long time. So that means spending some time cleaning up the YouTube. So I have to really be sure we're going to use TikTok to do that. So it would be like the TikTok story time would be in a folder on YouTube. And that would be the primary purpose if we decide to use TikTok. We might use Twitch. I haven't directly used my Twitch in 5 years. So is it easier to track with Twitch? The big thing for me is not our build broadcast. The picture in picture will no longer, is obviously not going to happen. It's hard to do picture in picture when you're in tall format like this. Um, Setting up another ID again, we could do it that way. I could relearn StreamYard or OBS. But the question right now is what app can we track the money effectively so we can do our story times? And what app can we do things like picture in picture easily? Or if I have to relearn another app, like in other words, StreamYard or OBS again, what app talks to StreamYard and OBS easiest? It's with me, it's not a matter of like, it's a matter of what am I giving you? You know, they don't show it anymore. The money, I can't find, like, I mean, I can find what I gave to who, but I've gone through all the settings and everything, and I cannot find who gave to us. I can see a total amount, but it's like they've completely reset everything. So they haven't taken the money away, but I can't see who. So if I can't see who, I can't write the story time. If I can't write the story time, then that makes us into liars and we can't bring you the product that you guys were starting to like. Some of you are new to it and you were starting to fall in love with it. And we've been encouraged by everyone to do it, but it's almost like they're not aware. They're asking us to do it because we've gotten a lot of compliments from Mark and Pablo and Peter. But again, if I mean the suggestion was in order to collab, and that's another thing too. Um, to basically encourage your numbers through collaboration. I understand the numbers because they need numbers on here in order to function. However, the suggestion was that people who are part of the story read their part of the story. Well, that's a whole level of complication. Now, in order to make it viable, we have to turn down other work or other things that are important to us. So that would mean, yeah, no, Happs can't make us enough money on story time for us to complicate it further. I mean, it'd be great, but who's going to run that for us? We got all this other stuff that we have to take care of, including our own company. So it was tough before and we were willing to do it, but now it's become like that sensation of impossibility. Um, the advantages we're already seeing with Twitch over TikTok is Twitch keeps its casts and Twitch, I mean, Twitch is hosted things like Critical Role. And again, that's another thing too. Happs does not have a hell of a large base of geeks and cosplayers, and I've been trying to get cosplayers over here. I've been trying to get basically our audience over here, and it's just they're not interested. They're happy on Twitch and they're happy on TikTok. So since that seems to be the majority of our market, especially if we're selling stuff through our store, one on Happs in comparison to 1,000 opportunities on Twitch or TikTok. Again, it's numbers. I don't like doing social media with numbers, but like I mean, I remember when there was like 3 of them and it was an easy pick. It was really simple to make that decision as to who you were broadcasting with, because there really wasn't that many options. But now you've got all these options. I mean, for a while we were broadcasting on an app called Peak, and the reason why we were choosing Peak was it was in Canadian dollars, which for us was great because we didn't have to do the conversion. It was not great because Canadian dollars are worth less than American dollars, but it was great in that way, and it was developed here in Toronto. So its main office was Toronto, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't even know if it's still around, but they could not, no matter how much they gave out free merch and things with their logos on it, they could not acquire the ease of developing an audience for us. And that's, collaborations are nice, and doing projects you guys like are nice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the question becomes, where's our audience? Where are we most likely? And I've been struggling now since I first got on Happs when it began, all those months ago, because months are now like years. Um, I've been trying to get a lot of cosplayers over here. I've been trying to get our audience in our economical base. I've been trying to get conventions to be, supportive of this, and it's not like you go to a convention and there's panels, where there's panels in social groups for Twitch people and TikTok people and Facebook people, and not Facebook as much anymore, but Instagram people flocking. These are also the apps that the conventions have been using virtually for the last 2.5 years because of COVID. Not apps. They've been using these other apps. And I did not want to do that because, yes, there are more trolls. Yes, there are more issues on the other apps, but that's because they are bigger. And right now, every minute of our time, like, I mean, hell, I'm putting on makeup so I can go on Twitch while I'm sitting here talking to you guys on Happs. I mean, my brain says it's pitiful but necessary, right? So it's not a matter of liking, unfortunately. I will learn whatever I have to learn. Question is, can I weave it into our lives? Hey, Kitty. I saw a picture in picture though. Where? On Happs? Where? Whose profile? No, but whose profile? Because I can't seem to do it. They say it's coming back, but that doesn't mean anything, quite frankly. Hang on a second, guys. Okay. Yeah, whose profile? Maybe I'll get to it. Well, oh no, but that's not picture in picture. That's not picture in picture. I can't. You know how we had two cameras going, right? You guys got a half decent close up of what was happening on the table, plus our faces, and we'd make our faces smaller, and then we'd switch things around. We'd make our faces bigger, and then the work. I can't do that now. Yeah. So yeah, if it's different people, that's no big deal. So in order to do multiple, and I can't choose one smaller, bigger, larger. I mean, there were a lot of features that have did, and I understand. But when they said that basically a lot of these changes were in order to make themselves equal with the other guys, if they're going to be equal to the other guys, and they're going to try to grab features from this and this and this and this. What's the point? Um, I do believe that there's a good chance that it was the investors that put in the 4.7 um, that basically pushed for this because it's their investment. But at the same time, as a broadcaster, like I said, I doubt we're going to like. I mean, I don't really see a lot of broadcasts on Twitch unless they're being fed down by somewhere else of people going for walks. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's not as reliable when you're on the go. I'm gonna have to do more research on that. Say with TikTok, you see people in their backyards or their garages or stuff, but you don't like people don't take their dogs for a walk. At least not as often. You get one or two. So I'm gonna have to look at some statistics on that before we go in and bring you guys out to buildings and stuff. So Happs may just wind up being our casual, but as a story time and as serious on the prop making front or promoting our store, this new Happs is not supporting any of that. It just really isn't. You may have to relearn OBS or Stream Elements, do video calls with Discord and or Zoom. I really hate Discord. I know that's a contradiction of what I already said. I don't actually hate any apps. It's not a matter of like or not like. But I find Discord the most frustrating thing. My brain is just not wrapping around it. And I was just learning Zoom. And yeah, that went by. See, on Periscope, what I used to do is use FaceTime on the computer. And then I put the picture in picture that way using OBS. So, whatever's going to be the easiest to learn with the biggest return. I mean, I love my Happs family. I wouldn't have been promoting it, but it's exhausting. Our audience, like our primary audience, we have a nice audience on here, but our primary audience is just doesn't seem to be wanting to come over here. So, I mean, I don't know. I might get on an art broadcast again because I've done that. I've gone on a few of Joe's and Native, but Habs has been the primary plug on every single thing we do, including um, our signature on all our emails. And without that's the big thing. Without being able to see, like, I mean, we have story time coming up on the 23rd. Martin and I should be writing, even if it's long distance while he's in this program, right? Because he can't dedicate. So if we're blessed to see him this evening, we're blessed to see him this evening. The psych has got it so that he's not spending more than 3 to 5 hours, depending on what time of day, and whether or not he was around the day before. To basically, he's out. He's supposed to document everything he does. Look, I haven't even been able to afford a hairdresser. I got it. This is wrong. I think I'm gonna try putting henna in to try to get my color back. I know it's not as accurate, but I know I'm not ready for that. I'm just not ready for that kind of stress. So, yeah, our life has changed in a way where we really do have to think of ourselves. And I, like, I mean, look, KT here, is on Facebook. A good chunk of our viewers have been bitching about Happs and are watching us from Facebook. So now all these changes may have made their bandwidth better, and it doesn't require as much pull in the system. But look, I've been on. How long have I don't even see? There's no timer anymore now. I don't even see a timer. I don't know how long I've been on. And there's only 14 views. It's not hitting the feeds like it used to. It's not. I mean, I understand why they did a lot of what they did, but for what Martin and I do, this may not be the platform for us anymore. So it's not a, hey, I'm out of here. It's more we have to find a way to do the story times because not only did a lot of you express that you really like the story times and you're willing to you're willing to pitch in that $5 a month. But I thought of even going back to Patreon, but even that's too many layers to deal with. Martin is now every day down at CAMH with his, which is a mental health facility, and they've got him set up in a little bed of his own, so to speak. It's they've got a contract with the local hotels and motels, so they've got him set up in that. He was in a temporary bed last night, and then tonight's supposed to be his first night in a motel or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I've done my best to only be informed with the one little level of life, so that him and I can relearn how to be independent people. And it's really hard on us because we haven't been in so long. But there's aspects of our life that we're not handling, and being diagnosed as bipolar has been a lot makes sense now, but it's very scary. So we have to simplify everything if we're going to keep going. And that's why we're experimenting with TikTok and Twitch. I mean, look, stress acne has come all back, right? I'm puffed out, retaining water, all the classic crap that I got rid of is now back. So, yeah, thank you for the heart. But he's exhausted. Like I said, I won't find out until I end this and go make a phone call and see whether or not he's making it. Um, I'm hoping to go on Twitch by 6:30, which is only 15 minutes. So I'm gonna leave now. But those of you who have Twitch, go on over, look for Car Hunger, CarrHunger, and talk with us tonight. We're going to, or I'm going to again. I'm so used to saying we. See, so rarely do Martin and I ever say me, and we've got to go back to saying me. It's quite a sec. So go over to your Twitches, go to Car Hunger, give us a follow. It's been sitting dormant except for feeding down from Happs. So we've completely forgotten how to run the damn thing. So tonight we're going to find out and do an experiment. We don't know how monetization works over there. We'll figure that out. But we've I've only got a couple. I've only got a couple hours. So I can't be on all night because I still have to get some things back to the storage locker. And again, even if he does make it in the door in like 10 minutes, it'll be a matter of I'm still going to have to do all this because he's going to have to go off to this hotel or wherever they've set him up in. So I have to make sure I get to the storage locker before it closes. So it's not going to be excessively long. I want to sit and talk to you guys all night, quite frankly, because I'm feeling very socially deprived. However, I understand. So get your butts over there no matter when you see this broadcast. Well, in the next couple of hours. And help us test Twitch. So it's not a love-hate thing. It's not a personal thing. It's our time is so precious now that it's a where are the story times going to live? That's our biggest thing right now. Where are the story times going to live? And where can we get the biggest attention for the store so that it has a greater chance of succeeding? Those two things. What we're, and of course, we'd like to not. So, I won't do Twitter because its monetization is wrapped up too much in the old Periscope rules. They really haven't changed anything. And when Twitter bought Periscope, and Martin and I lost about $1,000 because we trusted them with their criteria, and looking at their criteria for monetization, it is just as convoluted as the Periscope contract was. So we're not inclined to trust it. I don't mind feeding down to Twitter Live from another app. But the whole point of the story time is to create a monetization so that you can be part of the story. And yeah, they're too convoluted. So far, TikTok's pretty simple. They do take a larger cut in some ways, but what they charge you guys for coins is pretty one-to-one. So they take a little more money out of the broadcaster but not those behind coins. And that's a happier place. Um, Here we get practically one to one when you think about it. But the way they charge you guys to monetize here is, yeah, Ukeberry annoys me a lot at times and is very over aggressive in her opinions, and the way she talks becomes extremely overwhelming to me at times. But if you slow her down and take out all the vital words, it looks like she was really right. She was right about all this. And all I saw was our end, which was we're getting one to one, whereas everyone else charges the broadcaster. But now I'm realizing that I would rather the app charge the broadcaster, because we're basically using their fee. We're using their app. We're using their memory. We're using their database. So we're taking up physical digital space on their service. You guys aren't. The viewers, the supporters, the sponsors, you're not taking up that physical space. We are, because we're broadcasting. So to me, it makes sense that I would be charged a percentage, and I can write it off of my company because I have to count as income. You know, yay, laws in Canada. We have to count all of this as income. It's not like, so we're paying taxes on our income. So I would rather they charge me a fee that I could write off on my company taxes and pay less to my government and more to the people who are providing memory space for me to broadcast than have you guys get dinged and be discouraged from contributing. And both Twitch and TikTok have that kind of structure. They ding the broadcaster. So I would rather that. I was so excited about the fact that Happs didn't ding the broadcaster. But now looking at the bigger picture of it and how many people on Twitch and TikTok are contributing to a much broader range of subject matter. Um, yeah, like I said, it just might mean Happs might become our casual broadcast because it's trickling down to Twitch. But right now, if you're on Twitch, I have no idea if you're giving us money. I don't even know if I've got that setting on and off. I don't even know what settings I've got on Twitch right now. So I'm going to go find out where Martin is and whether or not he is joining. And my goal to be on in about 10 minutes. I hope. I still got to kind of throw the workroom together. No, the workroom's okay. I got to move this iPad over there and plug it in. So yeah, no offense, I hope, but how does Martin react when you talk about his condition? I wouldn't appreciate it, but that's just me. Well, if you go back a few broadcasts, he's already talked about his condition of his own accord, on his own time. He calls me up and asks me if I'm using Happs, and then we've also been talking about his condition on a mental health podcast, and he's more than fine with it. You can't face things by hiding. There's a number of things him and I have decided not to talk about, but we are very public people. And one thing you will learn with Ms. Christina Carr is I don't take things personally. You can even be the biggest ass on the planet. I'll just sit there and go, your problem, not mine. Honey, I grew up in a big city and spent half my time sleeping on the street with my friends. Come on. No. Someone was banging on your door. Oh no. Did you let him in? Change your follower chat settings on Twitch. No new followers can. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, okay. KT, talk me through that. And then I gotta go find out whether or not Martin's gonna make it. I'll use my phone. See, that was another thing. I like the whole streaming down thing, but at the same time, I had to constantly go off Happs to deal with things. Log in. Oh. Oh. Oh, my phone version is not logged in. Hang on, KT, stay with me. Stay with me. Oh, please tell me this is. It's been so long. The iPad version is always logged in. Log in. Welcome back. Oh. Digit code. Yep. This phone has not logged in a while. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Well, I was getting monetization before. Like, that was long ago. I mean, I could always send people to my company's PayPal right away. So how do I turn that off? How do I change that? JT, talk me through this. Yes, Gina's right. Oh, I am on legit on Twitch. Let's see. That's how long I've. Where's that setting thing you were talking about? Change your follower chat setting. Okay, where? Walk me through it quick. Oh, Desi's playing too. Nice. I know Desi was talking about Twitch. Let's see. See, I've already been on for half an hour and this doesn't tell me that. Where do I go? Channel manager. Oh, my little icon? I'm hoping that's right. That? My stream manager? My channel. Hope you're older, but just as cute. Fairy, fellow fairy. Yes, okay. So my channel, I assume. I assume. Or stream manager. Oh, I think I just screwed up already. My channel. Okay, going to my channel. Okay, my channel. I see, and this is it. I see these floaty hearts. Does that mean someone here is giving me floaty hearts? Because I don't see it on the Happs. So if you guys are giving me stuff, I can't see it. How can I thank you if I can't see it? I see little floaty hearts. See, just the Happs. It's just I feel like I'm broadcasting in the dark. No, that's just from Happs. Oh, okay. So where do I go on my channel? I'm in my channel. Dashboard? Cream or something, or get some sleep would be a nice idea. Dashboard. Zoom. Kitty. Jeez. No. I should over text, but I think to get on the settings for that, you might have to use the website. Meet you guys over Twitch in a few minutes. Give me 10 minutes to find out whether or not Martin's going to be here. Okay? Okay? It's over on Twitch. Oh, what a shite show. All right, guys. Soon. Soon. It will be true. Anyway.